Okay, hi everybody, it's me, Bonkai922, and I was late. Magical, regular Magic High School, Season 3, Episode... a moment. 8. This is Steeplechase Part 4. Now, last week we got most of the events out of the way. It seemed like it's kind of weird how he didn't really focus on what was going on with the other events. We just went right to the steeplechase. Now, this was kind of interesting because this is the first time I can honestly say Tatsuya was struggling. This is the third season of the show, of the anime, and this is the first time that Tatsuya Shiba was struggling. But it wasn't really that bad. Basically, the whole gist of this episode was them activating the dolls, Tatsuya trying to jump right in there so that Miyuki and the other combatants, in the steeplechase, don't have to deal with these dolls. Now, surprisingly enough, the first, I don't know, I think there were like 12 or 13. I don't know what the number was of how many dolls were. But the last four gave him a hard time. And the reason why these dolls form teamwork. Okay, that was weird. So it was kind of a struggle. But through Pixie, the robot that has a parasite inside of it, he was able to determine their attack patterns and everything in between and take them out. So now the reason this all really went down was to deter the JDF in implying magicians as soldiers, or basically as weapons. That was the whole bit. Even the guy, the Kudo, who's the head of the magic organization, that's what his plan was. The whole kit and caboodle. Now, underlying this plan was this guy, Jojin, whatever his name is. He apparently, it was said in this episode, he orchestrated everything. From the beginning with the Dragon, No-Head Dragon Clan organization, to the Yokohama incident, everything behind the scenes. But he kind of says in the episode that was not his intent and blah, blah, blah. But basically, that's what really happened in this episode. Tatsuya just struggled, and I'm surprised. Who wins the steeplechase? Miyuki, of course. But we get the aftermath after the whole steeplechase, and Kudo is basically at a private party, and he's saying, even though this was a failure, that's the front page idea of it, we still got Tatsuya to struggle, which was a lie. It was just to deter them from using magicians as weapons. And then obviously Colonel Kazuma shows up, plays a tape of the guy who's ahead of it, and this was all from the Yatsubas. Don't want to cross the Yatsubas, especially if the dolls are trying to attack Miyuki and Tatsuya. That's a no-no. No. But he understood the plight, and they assured Kodo that they weren't going to use magicians as weapons. So that whole plot thread kind of stopped. But the episode I thought was really action-packed. I thought it was good to see Tatsuya struggle. I'm like, oh, what's going on here? But it was only to a point. Once he got the 411 from Pixie, how to attack them. Lights out. So after that whole spiel, we have his uncle. Is that guy's name? I think it was his uncle. I think it was his uncle. Let's see if I can find his name. Going down the list of people in this show. Right, Kuroba. Kuroba was his kind of uncle because there's Ayako and Fumiya, and this was Tatsuya's uncle. He fights the guy, like I said before, was involved in the whole spam, Zhao Gongjin. So Kuroba goes up against him. He's no match for him. This uses a spell to call this wolf out to bite off its arm, and he disappears. So he escapes justice for another day. And then Tatsuya comes by, he heals him, and he's thinking about what kind of a person he is. Now, the next episode is something about ancient something. Didn't really catch the actual title for next week's episode. It seems to have something to do with some kind of ancient ruins, or who knows? I don't know. It's complicated. So, but this was a good conclusion to a certain extent for this storyline about the dolls. So, yeah, we'll see how this goes. But overall rating, I would think I give this definitely an up there. I would give this a 9 out of 10. Animation was fluid. You got to see Tatsuya struggle a little bit, but that was not, come on. Once he found out where they were attacking from and how they were attacking, and Pixie clued him in on it. But again, they're robots. Well, robots with parasites in them. So it's not even like, But anyway, 9 out of 10 for this one. We'll see how this goes. I kind of wonder where this is leading up to, especially with this villain, Zhao. Because I notice in the end credit scene, there's some women there. I don't know who they are. I don't know if it's one of the Yatsubas or somebody else, but I think that has precedence as we go further into the series. But overall, like I said, 9 out of 10. Good conclusion. Miyuki wins the steeplechase, and we're over already with the 9 Magic High School tournament competition. So now we're moving on from that. We're going to go into this other arc now as we move forward. We'll see how this goes. Should be interesting. This has been Bankai 922. My boy Tatsuya was struggling, but Pixie has his back. He took care of business. I'll see you guys later. Peace.